What is up, Tacoma family? Welcome back to a brand new video, guys. Super pumped to be filming this new installation that we are going to be doing on the Tacoma today. So super hyped about this because it's not an exterior modification. It's going to be something for the interior. So I mean, I don't really care too much about it, but when I came across this product, I was super stoked about it. And shout out to Dasaita for sending me a new front end unit for the front of the Tacoma. So basically what we're going to be doing is putting that on my Tacoma, and I'm going to walk you through the installation process of how to do it. So yeah, I was super stoked because it literally came in and I was like, man, I can't wait to receive this. And I'm going to unbox it. I'm going to show you what it includes in the box, but like I mentioned, we are going to be installing it here in the interior, in the front end of the Tacoma. So for those of you who have Tacomas, of course, you have your stock head unit, but in this case, we are going to be replacing it here today. Not just the unit, but the whole centerpiece here. So it's basically just going to be brand new and updated. So it's definitely going to be a big change for me because I daily drive the truck. So something here different is going to be a big change as well. So I'm going to start by unboxing it here, guys, and just show you what it comes with. And then after that, I'm gonna go inside of the truck and then just walk you guys through the overall process of it. All right, guys, so I got the box all opened up. So what you get first is some instruction steps and user's manual. But yeah, so once you remove this, you get the unit itself. All the accessories that you're gonna need are going to be provided in the box as well. So I'm going to go ahead and set that aside, and then I'll go over that here with you in just a little bit. Some zip ties and then the unit itself. All right, guys, so this is what you get with Dasaita's head unit. It looks super awesome. Just the overall look of it just looks super amazing and like high quality. But yeah, I got the cables on the side, so I'm going to lay those out so I can show you which ones are going to be going on to the Tacoma today, because you do have to choose the correct ones if you have different year models. So I'll get in that a little bit later when I separate all the cables. But yeah, guys, let me go ahead and do that. All right, guys, so I got all the cables laid out here, the antennas, the US ports, and the AV ports all laid out for whatever we're going to need for the installation process. So now you do get 2 power cables. This is an important thing that you need to make sure you do before you install it. So it comes with a CB047 and a CB004-1 cable. So there's 2 different ones for 2 different style Tacomas. So you really want to make sure you get the correct one so you don't get confused with all the cables. So for my Tacoma, I have this type of head unit, and it's a 2017 Tacoma. So I'm going to be using the CB004, which is this one right here, this cable right here. And for other Tacomas that have this type of head unit, you will use the CB004 with the CB047, which will be the other cable without the little box. All right, guys, so now that we have our negative terminal disconnected, we can move inside of the truck. So I'm gonna go ahead and close this and we will get inside. I'll turn on my light so you guys can get a better view of the inside here. And then we will start with popping the head unit off. All right, guys, so now that we're inside, you wanna pop off the head unit, the plastic trim here first, and then that will give you access to the head unit, and then we'll unbolt that and pop everything out. So you just honestly want to give it a nice tug. Don't be shy with it. Just pop it off, and that removes the plastic trim. So we can go ahead and set this aside, and then we can set it here because we will need to transfer some things over to the new unit there. But now we have access to the head unit here, so we will need to remove 4 bolts on each side, and then we will be able to take this head unit off. So to save you the trouble, you will need a 10mm socket here to unbolt these. So I'm just using this, and we will get to unbolting all of these. So you will do that all across, all over, and then we will get this off. All right, guys, so now that we got all the bolts removed, you're able to pull off the head unit. So what you want to do is just unplug everything from the back, and then we will set this aside because our other harness will connect to the factory wires here, and then we will plug it into the new head unit itself. All right, guys, so we got all that disconnected, and you're gonna leave this one on, so don't worry about those coming off. You'll just be left with these cables here. And yeah, set your bolts aside. You won't need these for the installation, and we'll set our head unit back here where we're going to be working, because like I did mention, we are going to be transferring some parts from the factory piece here to the new piece. So what we're going to need to be taken off is your AC fans here, and those will be going on to the new one here. And these little red clips all around the piece will go on to the new one as well. So I also do have Miso custom rings around the vents here. I am going to try to see if I can transfer those on and remove the chrome ones here, just like a little modification, and see if I can transfer them to the new unit just so it matches up with the rest of the interior of the truck. All right, guys, so now that we got all the little clips removed, we are going to transfer those over to the new unit. I already went ahead and got the AC vents off, and then now I will attempt the new modification of the little white rings here. I'm going to try to transfer them onto the unit and see if it works. All right, guys, so I got all the little clips around the new piece. I was not able to transfer over the little Miso custom rings around here because of the little clips it has already on the new unit. It's a lot smaller compared to the factory one, so I was not able to do that modification because here it has a lot more space for those to fit in, versus onto the new ones it's a lot more smaller. So I'm not gonna mess with that. It doesn't bug me that much. So let's go ahead and bring the new wiring to the Tacoma inside, and then we will start plugging up everything. All right, guys, so make sure you guys get your correct wiring harness like I had mentioned. And I did forget to tell you guys, you are able to switch this box right here. So like I said, you need to make sure what harness you're using, because you can swap that little box. So in this case, I already got my correct harness here. I plugged up everything to the factory wiring harnesses. So I plugged in 5 of those, and now we're left with 2 extra ones right here, these 2. And we are left with this one right here, this black cable. So we're gonna start by connecting our other harnesses here to these ports, and then I'll get back with you guys. So what we're gonna start doing is plugging in our auxiliary ports. So you're gonna pop these little caps off and then plug them into your harness. So they are labeled so you won't get confused. So these are for your camera, and then the auxiliary ports will be right here. So we'll connect the red one with the red and the white with the white. So let's go ahead and do that now. All right, guys, so now that we have the cables, the audio cables connected, so you're good on those, you'll just move that to the side. We're gonna move on to our video cables here. So you're gonna grab that harness. I jumped the gun and went ahead and plugged it in. So there is 2. So this is if you have 2 different cameras. So I went ahead and plugged it into this one right here, the one that's kind of connected to the actual port. This one didn't look like it was doing much, so I didn't plug it into that one because this one isn't plugged in to anything. So keep that in mind. But if we need to switch it later, we can go ahead. If the rear camera doesn't work, we can just change the connectors. So yeah, let's set this aside. So now that you have that plugged in, we'll move on to the next step. So you guys want to go ahead and grab the USB connector. You're going to connect it to this gray little port right here. So you'll just plug that up, and then we'll do the next harness. So now that we got all that, guys, we are gonna go ahead and grab our antennas that we are going to mount into the back. So let's go ahead and grab those. So this is our 4G antenna that we're gonna plug up into the back. It comes with a nice 3M provided, so you can just mount it back here safely. And we will do that here in just a little bit. So we're gonna use this 4G harness here, and we are gonna go ahead and do the GPS antenna as well. Make sure you just find a really secure spot where you're gonna mount these in the back, because it, like I said, it comes with the 3M little tape, so we can mount it somewhere there safely, probably somewhere down there, and then run the cables out, because the end of these cables will connect to our new unit. All right, guys, so now that I got the 4G antenna and the GPS antenna connected, you will be left with these two. So I just used the 3M tape provided, and I just put it back there safely, nice and flush, and tied up the excess wire, because these will just go onto the new factory unit. All right, guys, so now you got your harness here that we connected to the factory cable here, the gray one, the USB. So what we're gonna do is grab then our USB cable here, plug it in, and then you will be left out with this purple cable here. So we'll plug in the USB to this harness, and then we will be left with this end here. So let's go ahead and do that now. All right, guys, so now when you are finished with all these steps, you are going to grab this USB cable that has a brown end on it, and it's basically just to give you extra ports. So basically the brown connector will plug in to the new unit, and these we can route them inside here and probably feed them through the glove box just for extra connectors, and then this brown piece will plug in to the new unit. So let's go ahead and run these. You can honestly run them to wherever you think it's going to be better for you, but I'm just going to try to run it through here and then get it through the glove box. All right, guys, so now that we got the USB port connected, you will end with the brown piece like I mentioned. And so we're going to go ahead and do our SIM card cable, so we'll run it through the glove box as well. You can see the USB cable is ran through. Let's go ahead and route the SIM card down in there, and then you'll be left with this port, and that will complete all our wiring. And the last thing will be the little antenna that will connect to the new stereo head unit. All right, guys, so it was kind of a struggle to put the USB and the SIM card cables through here and down into the glove box, so it was kind of a challenge here, I will say, but we finally got them through. So now we have all our connections ready to go for the head unit, and we have the little antenna like I mentioned, and last but not least, our microphone. So this, you can honestly mount it to wherever you're going to be, like really close if you're going to be speaking. I'm going to kind of get creative and see where I put mine. But yeah, guys, let's go ahead and get the new head unit ready to get plugged up. All right, guys, so now I got all my cables ready, and as well as the little microphone. So I ran it through this side, and now I ended up having it on here. So I'll worry about that here later to where I'm going to mount that. But let's go ahead and grab our new unit and start plugging in the cables into the back. All right, guys, so now that we already plugged everything up, I made sure everything was plugged in correctly. I just kind of lightly put it on. I didn't fully put it on yet. I'm gonna connect my battery, and then we are going to test this baby out. It already looks super amazing. I already just love how it looks. So I'm super excited to see how this is gonna look. The installation process was fairly not too bad so far, but I am also going to check if the reverse camera works on here, if we plugged it into the correct yellow cable, and if we need to swap anything or fix and plug something up real quick again, then we will do that. So far, everything seemed good. So let's go ahead and plug in the negative terminal on the battery, and we should turn on the truck now. All right, guys, so now that we got the battery plugged up, let's turn it on and moment of truth, see how it looks. It's powering on now. Might take a minute to power up since it is just installed. It's going through the whole process, so this is pretty normal. and now it is starting up. So it looks like everything is good so far. I will have to learn how to mess with this for sure, and then see if everything is correct. But let's go ahead and check the reverse if that works. Looks like it's working. Let's try that again. Yep, so it is working. Everything is looking good so far. My tailgate is open, so let me close that and show you guys again. All right, guys, so now I've been messing with it a little bit. So far, everything has been working good. I went ahead and closed the tailgate, and the reverse camera does come on, so it is working perfectly. All right, guys, so everything is installed properly. I am gonna secure everything back and put all the wires properly back into the back here of the unit and just secure all the clasps. Everything is working very good. Like I said, I will have to mess with this later and just kind of see the function of it. But yeah, guys, super cool. Has lots of features that I'm gonna have to mess with later, but installation process overall was really easy. I will say, just take your time when you're doing this. Don't rush it. Just really watch the video through if you're clicking on this video, and if you have any questions below, I'll be more than happy to help, guys. Also, Tacoma family, if you guys are interested in purchasing a unit yourself, make sure you guys use code Tacoma family to get a little discount on the unit. They do have quite a few sales going on pretty often, so if you're interested in a unit, make sure you get yourself the new one. But yeah, guys, I will honestly give you guys my honest review after I mess with it, so I will be making a part 2 video on that. This will just be the installation process of the video, but I hope you guys really enjoyed it, and stay tuned for more content, guys. So more things are going to be going on to the Tacoma, so this was a very fun install for me because it was a lot more different, nothing mechanical, but something for the inside. So thank you to Dasaita for sending this through and letting me try it on my Tacoma. So super thankful for that, for them sending me this. But yeah, guys, so if you like that video, please hit that like button and hit that subscribe button, because I do want to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So yeah, guys, till next time, and peace, Tacoma family.